Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry at the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And if you wonder why the Corvette Museum is here, it's because Bowling Green is where Corvettes are made. The factory is here. It's the only Corvette factory anywhere, which is something I just learned, so I got to go in and see it. And this is the only museum I've ever heard of that is dedicated to one particular model of one particular automobile make. So let's go in and see which Corvette models they have here. Right out front they have the number 3 Corvette. Started in 1953, and the first ones they made had 6-cylinder engine, 150 horsepower, and now they make them with over 450 horsepower. You like this cutaway? You can see the interior design. That's interesting. And they made the Corvettes to compete with some of the European sports cars, like this 47 MG. They've got a 51 Crosley Super Sport here. And here's a car I've never seen before. It just says it's a concept car, 46 Stout. This is about the naming of the Corvette. I owned an Opel back in 1972, I think it was. They called it a Cougar for a while, and they finally settled on the Corvette name, which was named after this warship. So here they've got another 53, a 55, and this yellow one is another 55. They've got a nice backdrop here. Like this gas station, when gas stations were also service stations. You remember that? That's a 61 and a 57. And this one, this is one I remember well, a 58. Here's a kitty Corvette pedal car. That's about 5 feet long. We've got a 67 convertible. Here's a 73 that this guy is working on in a shop. I didn't know they could just raise the body off like that. And they've got several racers here. Got a lot of racing versions here. I don't know how this is related to the Corvette. I wonder why they would call this the Ugly Duckling. Automatic transmission. And this is a 68 that they call the Astro 2. I'm not familiar with this 2-rotor. I'm not sure what that is. Horsepower unpublished. Reynolds aluminum. I assume that only refers to the color. This is a really unusual version. They call the Indy. 650 horsepower. It's a rear engine, and you can see it right in the back of the window there. Wow. Didn't know they made one like that. Guess which year this Stingray is? How about that? 495 horsepower, 8-speed automatic transmission. Here's a peek into their garage. Look at this piece of artwork on the wall. Can you tell what it's made of? All those little pictures. How about that? Have you heard of the sinkhole that they had here? Right inside the museum here, on that day, a sinkhole just collapsed and took with it 8 of the vintage Corvettes. Look at this one, red one, upside down, that just fell into the sinkhole when it just all of a sudden collapsed. Here's some details. Here they're pulling one out. And here are some of the actual cars that fell into the sinkhole. Look at that. Still have the mud caked on them. What a shame. And that was such a freak thing to happen in that particular spot. And these are the actual 8 cars that fell into the sinkhole. And 3 were restored, this blue one, and this white one, a 1992 model. That was the 1,000,000th Corvette ever made. And that black one got restored. But the rest of them just stayed in their damaged condition. All 8 of them are within this area right here. That is just amazing. And this dome building is where the sinkhole actually happened, right here. And they've made an outline where the cave-in happened, so you can see exactly how big it was and where it was. This is called a spire, this red tower in the middle, and this yellow spire. And this shows a diagram of where the sinkhole happened, right next to the red spire under the sky dome. This I've never heard of, an Astrovette. This is a really unusual looking one. Here's the rear of the Astrovette. Well, here's some more models. That's a 68, and here's a 69 Stingray Gold. And this is a 2019 model. Each one has a detail sheet like this. Here's a comparison of the Corvette with a Dodge Viper with some side-by-side information. And here's a section dedicated to the man, Ed Big Daddy Roth. Real famous guy. Invented the Rat Fink character, and he did a lot of car customizing, like this one that he called the Wishbone. Here's another one of his called the Outlaw, and look at this blue one, and this one called the Beatnik Bandit, the Tweety Pie. Can you imagine driving down the street in this? And here's a nice paint job called the Iron Orchid. How about this mean thing? Comes with its own bullet holes. Here's a Stingray that he made with a bubble top. And how cool are these two Stingrays? Oh man, I bet you would love to have this baby. And you gotta have a green bomb. Customized from a 2014 Corvette, it became a movie star. They have some more cars out in the front part of the museum. And there's a guy in this one sitting there with the engine running. With the lights on. With the engine running. What the heck does he think he's doing? They got something special going on here. Some kind of special event maybe. They've got a big gift shop, and they've even got their own Corvette Cafe. This is a really nice place. Check it out if you're ever in the Bowling Green area. Good day, folks.